You can take away everything that I ever worked for. I'ma keep on pushing till I earn more. I won't ever fall. Won't never, won't never, won't never, won't never, won't never, won't never. Call it quits, call it quits.
Hey, my name is Boris Pasikluk, and welcome to BUCHcast. I'm here with my co-host Yuri Boot, and
What's up, guys? This is episode 1 of BUCHcast. We're gonna try to provide value to you guys and just share a bit about our life. To get started, we'll just give you guys a bit of a backstory about each of us, where we came from, how we got to where we are. Boris, want to start?
yes, sir. So, like I said, my name is Boris Pasikluk, and yeah, I mean, I've been partners with Yuri for about a year or so, and we've been thinking of new ideas and new things, and this is just one of them. So just a little bit about myself. I'm 22 years old. I'm about to be 23 in about 10 days. It's all good there. And then I've always done whatever I think is right. And I've always been someone who just goes with the flow and goes with my gut. And ever since I was even in high school, I just couldn't stand being there and raising my hand. And just to think that, like, you have to be, an 18-year-old has to raise their hand to go to the bathroom. I just thought that was like a pathetic thing. So even in high school, I graduated my junior year. Did not want to listen to all the rules and all that. So
Did you graduate or drop out?
It's a good question. So I stacked my classes. My junior year and graduated a year early just so I could be out of there and get out of there with all the rules and all that. But
Is that what told your parents?
yeah, that's what I told my parents. But no, so I graduated a year early and then went to community college for about a month and only
What major?
didn't choose a major. That was
You sure it wasn't dance theory?
this guy. That was just to start my. That was actually just to make my parents happy. Went to college for about a month just to make my parents happy. Just because that was the thing to do, I guess. So sitting there in college, we have our first exam coming up, and I go and drop out, and actually dropped out of that one, yes. But I dropped out of college and went and signed up for real estate classes, and that was 3 years ago.
How come you chose real estate?
I chose real estate just because, to be quite honest, I was sitting there in college, lost little 18-year-old, and just didn't know. I just literally Googled, like, what can you do to be self-employed? And real estate popped up, and I was just like, let's crush it. Let's do it.
What year is this?
This was 2018. I've always liked helping people, and I've always been a people person. I've never liked working for someone. So that was a good opportunity for me to start my life. And 3 years later, that's where we are. But yeah, let's hear about a little bit of you.
26 years old, wife, kid, second one on the way. Kind of similar backstory. I have a stuttering problem, but we'll get to that later. I'll save that for a future podcast. Went to school, got a bachelor's in software engineering.
How's that going?
It's actually becoming useful now because I can use that bachelor's degree for my broker classes. So
Good.
It's actually not bad, but it taught me a lot. It made me start in my self-employment journey 4 years later than Boris, but the plus side of it was that I learned how to learn, which I think was a big thing that college taught me.
That's what everyone says about college.
Yeah, it made me open to learning and getting better, which I think is a good motto to have in life, because either you're growing or you die. So you got to always learn and adapt, because there's always somebody trying to beat you out and get what's called over you, ahead of you. So you got to keep learning, keep adapting, keep improving your craft and getting better. So also got into real estate, graduated from college. Next day, moved here to Columbus, graduated from a college in upstate New York.
Which college?
SUNY Binghamton State College. Then moved here to Columbus to pursue business. Worked for for my uncle's company for a bit. He tried probably 5 or 6 different job roles for me, neither of which worked out. And then he had to fire me, but now he tells people that firing me was the best thing that he's done for me. So it's good. But it forced me to transition to self-employment, and me being the only one responsible for my paycheck. I think it's a tough transition to make.
One of the toughest.
Being dependent on somebody for a paycheck and just coming in, punching the clock, and then transitioning to being self-employed, and nobody's there to
Keep you accountable, huh?
tell you to get up in the morning, when to clock in, when to clock out. Nobody gives you a job to do. You got to just kind of go out yourself and hustle and find out what works, what doesn't. So,
What would you say the hardest part of you transitioning into that self-employment position?
that's a good question. It definitely increased my mental toughness. 75 Hard also helped with that. It's a program that we'll get into probably later podcasts. It changed a lot about me. Definitely made me more aware of my surroundings, and Steven's favorite word, becoming self-aware of my flaws and my strengths, and trying to focus on growing my strengths and helping others. But one valuable lesson I learned when I was getting into real estate, my uncle, who owns the business that I worked for, Summer Designs, he told me, Yuri, if you're gonna get into real estate for the money, you'll have neither a license or money, because getting into a field for money or chasing money is never the right solution. If you get into it to help people, that'll get you a lot further in life. So that's something that I've taken to heart and try to help people out. And the money comes itself. So
Yeah.
It's been a good thing I've learned.
That's something we here try to put and make the first priority here at BUCH Group, putting others first, and then everything else follows. It's just the way of life that we're starting to see is the most beneficial for everyone. But I mean, yeah, that's a cool.
You then want to talk about some struggles that come along with
Self-employment,
being
with
self-employed?
that transition.
Yeah, like, Boris, you said you started out with a Google search, right? Like,
Yeah.
How did you make that transition from how to make money on, like, quickest money to helping people out? And
Yeah, I mean,
about the money?
so I was kind of naive by just like Googling and jumping in, but I think I was just so like done. I think I was just so done with being just in college. I just felt like it was the most pointless thing, sitting in like a college room just to please my parents. I think that was the biggest thing. And dude, like the reality is, like, they tell me now, like, I made such a good decision that I didn't listen to them, and they see the results from it. Obviously, 3 years later, at first they thought it was foolish, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it wasn't just like a Google search. It was just like I heard about real estate here and there. I knew I liked helping people. I talked to a few local realtors, and I kind of just jumped into it.
Was Yuri one of the local
Yuri was one of the local realtors. He was definitely one of the most helpful ones. The other ones were kind of like,
I was a bit reserved, to be honest, because I had just started as well, and thankfully things were going good for me. But I didn't really want to waste my time too much, because failure rate of realtors is like 85% dropout.
the first 2 years.
Yeah, in the first 2 years. So
Do you think Boris was a lost cause?
I don't know. I've known Boris for a long time, so I've known him since he was a kid playing what's called football with him and stuff. So he stole my sweater in like fourth grade. So
No. So he gave me a sweater, and we played like kickball or something, and I returned it dirty. I felt bad about it for the longest time. I didn't even talk to him about it until this year. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about some of the hard things about that transition.
yeah. Before we get to that, you mentioned something a bit earlier that I want to touch on. You said that you realized that you can't go about life pleasing your parents. You got to live life the way you want to live it. How did that transition happen for you, going from from pleasing other people and living life other people wanted for you versus realizing that you got to live your life and not really caring about what others have for you?
So that was a hard transition to implement into my life. That was extremely tough, just because of how we're raised and how the society is, where everyone's opinion matters and everyone has something to say, and everyone has something. I think that I just at that point I had this click in my brain where I was like, look, I'm looking out for my best interest, and I just had to go with it. I had to go with my own gut, and I had to go with it just like I have been all my life. But it's just, yeah, that was tough. I mean, it's just that was a tough one, just because of the disappointment you get right away from your friends and family telling you that's a bad idea, that's gonna be hard, that the failure rate is 95%, whatever it is, within the first 2 years, and no one understands. No one understands like where you're standing at, trying to take this leap of faith. But sure as hell that I'm glad I took it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that transition happened to me when I was graduating college and wanted to move to Columbus to get into business. And every single person I talked to, maybe besides like 2 or 3, but all my friends, church influence, leaders, people that I looked up to, everyone told me I was making a mistake. They told me, hey, why not go the safe route, get a engineering job, get a salary, set up your future good. And everyone told me, like business super risky, you shouldn't do it. Why waste a degree, all this stuff. And I thought about it, and then asked my uncle and told him, hey, how come every single person I talk to tells me not to go into business, and you're the only one I know that has a good business going for him, and you're saying go for it. And he's like, Yuri, it's it's totally up to you whose opinions you listen and how you let that affect your life, but I'm the only one that actually has a business, and I'm telling you to go for it. And all these people don't have a business and never started a business, and they're saying don't go for it. So who you listen to is totally up to you. So that was a mind opening experience for me.
Yeah.
That showed me that, hey, I should listen to everyone, but the people's opinions that actually matter and whose opinions I should value are people that are doing better than me. In that area of life that I'm trying to work on.
For sure. Yeah, I mean that's just one of the things me and Yuri are we're big into having a coach in every aspect of our lives. Finance coach, health coach, business coach, whatever it is. And just like you said, like we don't seek help from people that aren't doing something or a lot more successful than we are at that certain aspect of life. And so we just go to those people that are absolutely crushing it to seek for advice, not just
Yeah, but it's it's definitely a lot easier to live when the only people that we rely on and are responsible for making choices in life is us ourselves.
Yeah.
Obviously we can't forget about God, who obviously we're very strong believers in Jesus, and try to live by the Bible and get closer to Christ every day. But as long as we see the world through a biblical lens, and let that filter our views, if the only people responsible for making a decision in my life is me and my wife, it's a lot easier to make a decision and go forward than having to go ask 10, 20 people about what they think, and then having to decide, because at the end of the day, no matter what the decision is, the only people that are going to suffer with the consequences, either suffer or enjoy the consequences of that decision, are me and my family.
For sure.
So.
No, for sure. I mean, the reality is everyone has a opinion on every single little thing. Like I just bought a new home, and I've had a few family members walk through the home, and every single one of them had their own opinion of how things should be done. And the reality is, none of them are paying for it, for one. For two, going to be living there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like everyone has their own opinion about every single little thing, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's my life, and we're just gonna do the things that we want to do. But yeah,
we're just getting started on this journey of life, so we're still two young guys trying to navigate through and teach you guys some of the things that we've learned, and obviously we still have a lot to learn. We'll definitely appreciate your guys' feedback on what you guys think, anything you guys want changed, or any topics you guys want to hear us discuss. I think we'll get in depth about a lot more things regarding to politics and our freedoms today. But we'll save that for later podcasts. Wanted to just do this one to tell you guys more about ourselves, and give you guys a bit of a backstory about us. Anything you want to add?
Yeah. So
close
what
up.
is your guys' like goal with this podcast, with this platform? Like, talk about the future episodes, like what goals you have.
Just
with it.
let people know who we are, and get more exposure in a sense, and then just talk about our failures and our wins. And I think we've noticed a lot of people just talk and like to boast about their wins in life and on social media and everything. And like we're completely comfortable talking about what we messed up with, what we learned from,
Yeah.
what we
Yeah.
what were our biggest mistakes. So that's just one of the things that
No failures, only lessons. So
yes sir.
a lot of lessons we've learned, and just want to provide some value and help you guys hopefully not make the same mistakes we did, and help you guys get more grounded, and at least be able to, if you guys disagree with us on anything, at least be able to defend what you guys believe in, because unless your beliefs are questioned, or somebody gives a opposing view, that's the only way someone can actually justify their beliefs. So just wanted to make this podcast to provide value to you guys. Obviously, this is our first one, so Boris is shaking in his chair the whole time. So we're still adapting.
Just can't sit straight.
The guy off camera is Steven, my good friend. He's our marketing manager, and he's agreed to help us out with this. So if there's any video issues or audio issues or editing issues,
Find
you
that
guys
guy.
you guys can email Steven at butchgroup.com, and he'll
Bombard his
work on
email.
it.
So did you guys want to kind of talk about Butch, how you got the name, how it came to be, and how you're incorporated into your business?
Yeah.
So yeah, BUCH Group. So my grandma and Yuri's grandma, their last name is Buczynski.
Yeah.
Their maiden name.
Maiden name.
Buczynski. So we actually struggled to find a name for our company.
What were some of the names?
A lot of variations.
Fob team and some cheesy stuff Yuri had going on, but no, I mean, so we thought we would bring it down, and that's one correlated thing we had in our lives, our grandmothers. So we decided to bring that down and kind of cut that into Butch, and we have BUCH Group, our real estate service, and then we have Butch Cast now. That's
Which is our all-encompassing name for a lot of different business ventures that we're starting and will start in the future. And it's BUCH, not something else.
not the beer.
And it's pronounced Butch. We've had some issues with that.
Yeah. Say it again for the people in the back. Butch, because I swear people have been mixing it
Yes.
up. It's such a simple little thing.
Yes.
It's-
Well, hey, that at least it's good that we didn't name it what's called the whole last name. That'd be great. Buczynski Group.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody would get that one right. People can't even say or spell my name Yuri, and it's only what's 5 letters. So,
Yeah. Anything else we gotta talk about?
you have any closing remarks you want to say? What can people expect or look forward to hearing on our next episode?
So next episode, we're gonna make it. So we're gonna make it about our lives, obviously about what's going on in this world, from a political stand view, from a bunch of different stand views, and we want to incorporate it with with you guys. We want to have Q&As, and we want to have like really genuinely good questions asked by you guys. So we'll start putting out stories, and we would love if you guys swiped up on that and asked very, very interesting questions, because our whole goal here is to be authentic.
Authentic and transparent, yeah.
And because I think that's something that the world is lacking of. I think that people hate transparency, and people hate authenticity in this world, which is it's kind of frowned upon at this point. Everyone just goes with the flows, and then society.
Truth hurts sometimes, but it's okay.
Truth hurts all the damn time. But
Bitter truth is better than a sweet lie. That's a Bible verse, I think.
That's what we truly believe in here at Butch. So people can expect just a lot coming out from us. There's gonna be content. There's gonna be these Butch casts that's gonna be out every single Friday. So there's a lot to expect. We're trying to make it as easygoing as possible, and be able to incorporate you guys into this as much as possible. We'll be having guest speakers after a few episodes. We have big plans for that, and then just getting a bunch of interesting questions from the audience is going to be one of the better things, so we can answer those just raw and authentic answers.
Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening.
Let's wrap it up.
Any question you guys have, or anything you guys want us to discuss, just let us know. But we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yes, sir.
You can take away everything that